It was too loud. So basically, we're starting our video off. Basically, don't mind the noise because right now I'm folding clothes. And I was alone in the house, so why not just upload this? Because I have a quiet place, and my dog is sleeping in the background, so it's not gonna be that much noise. Let's get into the video. So before we get into the video, let's talk about last time I left off where Deku went back home after the Hotel USJ incident. So, after that, when that USJ incident happened, last time I didn't introduce a new alien. But yeah, so Deku is going to get a bunch of aliens from the rebooted series and also all of the aliens from the other series, including Alien Force. So Deku's going to have the thin, watch that Ben had in Alien Force or an Ultimate Alien. He's going to have that small little Omnitrix. Um, he's gonna have that small little Omnitrix and the Ultitrix or whatever, the big Omnitrix that can transform the user into an ultimate version of the Omnitrix of an alien. He's going to have that probably near the uh, probably after the Forest Training arc. But Deku is also going to be getting the the finished prototype of the Omnitrix from what was it, Omniverse. So Deku's gonna have that Omnitrix, but he's probably gonna have it probably near the end of the um maybe near after the after the overhaul arc. So let's get into it. So Deku, I last left off for Deku. Pretty much over the days Deku was off, Deku unlocked a new alien. He unlocked two new aliens. Um, I don't know what his name is. Crush Rock. Um, Rock Crush. Don't know. The electric guy with the rock powers. I don't know what his name is. And also Deku unlocked uh what was it, Slapback. Deku also unlocked Slapback as well. So Deku over the days he was gone, started training with the new transformations he had. Now, last time I asked you guys if you wanted me to include the anti-tricks. So, you guys said, well, one of you guys requested that Bakugo should have the anti-tricks, so I'm doing it. So Bakugo's going to have the anti-tricks, and Bakugo gets the anti-tricks on the same day Deku unlocks Slapback. So Deku unlocks Slapback, and when he gets switched back to Bakugo going on a hiking trip with his dad because his dad wants to have some father-son time. So Deku's dad, Bakugo loves his dad, so he ain't a jerk about going on a hiking trip with him, but he doesn't like it because it's bugs everywhere and it's super hot. So pretty much they're camping outside, and pretty much they set up camp that night. So Bakugo's dad goes to sleep, and Bakugo goes to sleep, but Bakugo wakes up from a weird dream. Now that dream was some sort of pretty much, what was it, blueprints for some sort of watch thing that familiarly looked like Deku's new watch thing. So Bakugo immediately, when they got off the camping trip and they went back home, Bakugo immediately went into the garage and started cutting down the blueprints and the stuff that he saw in his dreams. So Bakugo pretty much made the anti-tricks the same way Kevin did in the new rebooted series, and pretty much wrote down the blueprints on pretty much a paper that couldn't be washed off or burnt, and pretty much made a paper that would last for a long time. So if he ever broke the anti-tricks, he could fix it or he could make a new one. So Bakugo made an anti-tricks and pretty much put the blueprints in a box, locked it up, and pretty much put it in the safest crevices of his house, making sure no one would find it. Even putting some sort of lead around it so most people with X-ray vision quirks wouldn't be able to see through it. So pretty much Bakugo went to school the next day with the Omnitrix on his wrist, or the Antitrix on his wrist. So Bakugo went back to school with the Antitrix on his wrist. This is what the Antitrix looks like. and pretty much, was pumped up for this new day. So Bakugo went in there and looked at Deku, and Deku saw the Omnitrix on his wrist. Deku was confused, but after that, and everybody was talking about the sports festival. Now, Bakugo did rewrite and upgrade his, pretty much, quirk quirk showing, and said that he had a familiar quirk like Deku, but he also got the same, uh, pretty much support item that Deku had, or something like Deku had. So pretty much they accepted it, and Bakugo was able to use the Omnitrix, or the Amphitrix, at school as a quirk. So pretty much Bakugo, everybody's talking about the sports festival and how it's gonna be lit. We skip a few days later, and pretty much Deku is trained by one of his close friends, and no one of nah I'm sorry guys, Deku actually makes really close friends with Zero. So Deku trains with Slapback with Zero at Deku Beach, pretty much training left and right, and getting a pretty good, upgrade in his powers. So they go to the sports festival, they get in their sports hero costumes, and Bakugo walks in there and tells Deku pretty much that I'm going to win and that I have the better watch. Bakugo is saying that I know about the Omnitrix kid. I know about the Omnitrix Deku, you little nerd, and I have one too. And I did a little bit of, modifications to the aliens. So pretty much Bakugo scoffs and walks off. So Deku is confused that he knows about the Omnitrix and sits down in the chair contemplating on how he knows and how he got one of his own. But it looks so weird, like it was homemade or something. So after the, whole entire altercation with them, Midnight pretty much asks everybody to go into the arena, and they tell them their next event, or their next, clearing. So Deku gets on top of it and pretty much goes with Bakugo out there. So they get told that they're doing an obstacle race, and they get to the starting line. So Bakugo automatically goes for one of his aliens, and Deku goes for one of his aliens too. So they start, and Todoroki freezes everybody's feet, but Deku transforms into Heat Blast. Pretty much, Deku's flying up in the air, shooting fireballs underneath him, propelling him up into the sky, also burning some robots on the floor as well. But Bakugo feels, power, and pretty much boosted right by Deku. Deku's confused, looks down and sees some sort of, alien. Bakugo transforms into Hotspot, or Bakugo's version of Heat Blast. So, pretty much they're both Heat Blast, and they're firing up into the air, and Bakugo's throwing fireballs at Deku. Deku's absorbing them and throwing them back at Bakugo. They're throwing fireballs left and right until they get to the mountainside. They start, cannon bolting, or, shooting fire underneath their feet, going left and right to pole to pole, getting to the finish line of that area. So they start going faster and faster, and they both time out near the mind area. Bakugo still has a quirk when he's timed out, so he basically starts, exploding up into the air, dodging the most of the pretty much explosions he can. Deku gets up and looks around, seeing that the Omnitrix timed out, pretty much confused. So Bakugo pretty much says to Deku, "See you later, chump," and explodes off. So Deku is, hitting the Omnitrix left and right, saying, "Come on, work already, come on." Pretty much, looking around and sees that it's a piece of, robot kibble that was, attached to Bakugo's back when he, flamed through a robot. Like, Bakugo torpedoed through a robot, and a piece of the robot was burned or, like, sewed onto the, rock around his body. So pretty much Deku picked that up and started, shoveling up the same bombs that he did in Canon, jumping onto it, and getting in first place like he did in Canon, running off. So Deku gets first place, Bakugo gets second place, and Todoroki gets third place. Everybody always gets the same scores after, them three get there. And pretty much Deku gets in there and says, "I told you, I'm the better person." And Bakugo says, "Yeah, right," and goes for the Omnitrix again. But they're both still timed out. But, Midnight explains the next obstacle that they're playing horse. So after the 10 minutes of them, sorting out the teams, Bakugo doesn't make a team and pretty much, just has zero Kirishima. And Bakugo still has his original team, and Deku still has his original team. But Deku goes for a new alien. Deku goes for, whatchamacallit? Shock Rock. Yeah, I remember his name now. Shock Rock. Yeah, that's what Deku got. Deku transforms into Shock Rock, and Bakugo transforms into Deku Bakugo transforms into Diamond Head, or Dark Diamond, I don't really remember his name, version of Diamond Head. So basically, he's on top of everybody, and they start. So Deku is pretty much throwing, what was it? Throwing electricity balls towards everybody, keeping them at a far, using some of his electric powers to make items, making some sort of electric dome around them. Bakugo is basically, making diamond structures underneath his team, making them go up higher in the ground, up into the air, and pretty much, making diamond balls to throw on top of the electric dome, trying to break it or trying to break Deku's concentration. Bakugo is, making diamond constructs left and right, making spears penetrating into the electric dome, and pretty much Bakugo is making a lot of damage into Deku's dome. Deku is losing consciousness and pretty much blacks out. Deku times out, and the team is out of, whack. They pretty much, what was it? Oh yeah, Dark Shadow, keeps up Deku, cradling him so he can wake up. And Electric Dome is still going, but it's starting to fade away. So Bakugo, last chance, jumps off of his team, making diamond constructs under him, still not touching the ground, so, Midnight doesn't count that, and pretty much makes diamond shards, throwing them left and right, like spears, into the dome, trying to, cut Bakugo or break his team's concentration. So, out of nowhere, Deku transforms, being timed out and also coming back, to life, and pretty much throwing a huge ball of flames at Bakugo. Bakugo gets pushed back, and Bakugo looks and sees that Deku comes back from the ashes as Heat Blast, jumping on the same diamond contract that Bakugo's on. Bakugo makes a diamond spear, and Deku makes a fire axe. So pretty much in this universe, Heat Blast or Pyro Knights can make fire constructs like Shock Rock's race. So pretty much he makes a fire axe, and they go at it. They start going left and right, shouting and stabbing each other, cutting each other, pretty much left and right, making each other bleed. Deku's bleeding lava, and pretty much Bakugo isn't really bleeding because I don't think diamond heads can bleed, but they can be shattered, whatever. So it's getting really hard for Deku to even, make a scratch on Bakugo because he's still in Diamond Head form. But Bakugo times out, and Deku's still, in transformation because Bakugo transformed, the longest, so it was more or less happen to him to time out. So pretty much, Deku throws a huge finishing blow at Bakugo, but he stops the last second, saying that I'm not a killer, and pretty much knocks out Bakugo, making him fall off the edge. So before Bakugo hits the bottom, the time's out, and everybody, is done. So Todoroki didn't jump in the fight because, well, it doesn't include Todoroki. And guys, I know it's other, Omnitrix items like the whatchamacallit, that the other version of the Omnitrix, the other version of Omnitrix in Omniverse, like the one that can transform you into monsters or, creatures or the apex predators of aliens. So, guys, go in the comments and ask me who do you want to have that, item. And also, guys, I am including, Ben 10 and other Ben 10 characters in this what if, like I just said, like in part 1, I think. So yeah, guys. So if there's any other alien, items you guys want me to give to anybody in Class 1A, just go in the comments and ask, because you guys should know this by now. I always do requests, or, you know, inputs on the video. So I always like to see you guys' inputs and see what you guys would like from this video. But let's get back into the video. So, or the story. So let's get back into the story. So after that, they go in the waiting room, and Bakugo's, tweaking with the Omnitrix a little bit. Or the Anti-Trix. I'm going to pretty much call it the Omnitrix or the Anti-Trix. Either one. So Deku is, looking at the Omnitrix and looking through his aliens. And since Bakugo got kicked off, Bakugo did break the Omnitrix just a little bit because he landed on top of it. So Bakugo took off those little, middle shards that were sticking out of the Omnitrix and pretty much just made it more cleaner. So after the waiting was over and Bakugo got out, Deku also unlocked a new alien. Deku unlocked, whatchamacallit, who was his name again? Deku unlocked Wrath. Deku was, kind of confused, but he went with it anyway. So Bakugo goes in there, and they start the match. So Deku starts the match fighting the mind control guy, transforming into Wrath. Bakugo runs over to the mind control guy and pretty much knocks him out clean without talking to him, without him even saying anything. So Bakugo, for his matches, they go pretty fast. But for Bakugo versus Ochaku, Bakugo just turns into Heat Blast and pretty much throws a huge fireball at Ochaku, pushing her out the ring without letting Ochaku even try anything. So Bakugo pretty much destroyed that match without taking any, more time. And for the other matches, Bakugo pretty much makes them, a 1 second match. So, pretty much they go through the matches, blah, blah, blah. And Deku goes through an extra match going, to fight Denki. Deku just transforms into Shock Rock and electrocutes Denki. Not electrocuting him, but shooting him with enough energy to push him out the ring. So, the last match, the main match, Deku goes up against Todoroki, blah, blah, blah. Nothing really happens, seriously. Deku goes as Heat Blast and pretty much uses all of his energy to melt through all of Todoroki's ice, pushing him out the ring before Todoroki can even use his finishing or awakening move. So, let's get into the main obstacle. Bakugo versus Deku. So, pretty much this is going to be all out and a versus. So, let's get into the video. So, Deku gets ready and Bakugo gets ready as well. Bakugo ejects some of his, venom, because Bakugo transformed into his original alien. Now, this is the alien that I'm making up. It's pretty much an alien that looks like, it's an alien that looks like, what's his name again? That looks like the same alien Archit is. Archit from Benton Universe. He pretty much transformed into the same alien that Archit is. But his spikes are now venomized. So he can, if he punctured Deku, he would be paralyzed. So Deku, seeing this, pretty much goes for an alien that can't be punctured, going for Heat Blast or Diamond Head, but getting Wrath. So they start the match, and Deku runs over to Bakugo, and Bakugo dodges Deku's first attack. Bakugo throws one of the shards in Bakugo's leg. Bakugo throws one of the shards in Deku's leg. Sorry guys, I'm getting kind of confused here. And throws another shard left and right and spikes and stabbing them into Deku's chest. Deku gets fouled and pretty much, starts paralyzing himself. Or paralyzing. So, man, sorry guys. I don't have a script for this. Bakugo falls out to the ground after, using all of his spikes, and pretty much Deku is just, standing up, paralyzed, can't even move, can't even blink. And pretty much Deku gets up, and... So sorry guys, I actually made a script this time because I couldn't, think straight. So let's get back into the video. So last left off for Deku pretty much started fighting. Deku was, paralyzed from Bakugo's shards. Bakugo got back up, making one last big shard or spike about to impale Deku. Deku transforms into Heat Blast. The last second, Because he Blast would, in this situation, would be the best alien to survive an attack like this. And pretty much the spike burns on contact with Deku's skin. Deku grabs Bakugo and chucks him out the ring without hesitation, making Bakugo hit the end of the ring, making him get out the ring. So Deku gets first place, blah blah blah, and I'm gonna end it off here, guys. So guys, sorry if this was long, and sorry if the last battle was trash. In my opinion, I think it was trash. I can't really think straight. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hardly ask this, but pay a thumbs up or subscribe if you're new. And hope you guys have a blessed day. And as always, guys, request for anything because I will do it. So guys, see you later. Bye. Deuces.